The Black Dahlia case is one of the most infamous unsolved murders in American history, centered around the brutal killing of Elizabeth Short, a young woman found murdered in Los Angeles in 1947. Elizabeth Short, born in 1924 in Massachusetts, moved to California with hopes of becoming an actress. She lived a modest lifestyle and spent much of her time in Hollywood, trying to find acting work but struggling to make ends meet. On January 15, 1947, her body was discovered by a passerby in a vacant lot in the Leimert Park neighborhood of Los Angeles. The scene was horrific. Elizabeth's body had been severed in half at the waist and drained of blood. Her face had been mutilated with cuts extending from the corners of her mouth to her ears, giving her a grotesque Glasgow smile. Her body was carefully positioned, with her arms raised and legs spread apart. The brutality and precision of the mutilation indicated that the killer had some surgical knowledge. The discovery of her body sparked an enormous media frenzy, with newspapers giving her the nickname the Black Dahlia, likely inspired by her habit of wearing black clothing and possibly from the film The Blue Dahlia that had been released in 1946. The public and the press were captivated by the case, and Elizabeth's mysterious life and gruesome death became a source of intense speculation. The investigation into Elizabeth Short's murder was massive, involving both the Los Angeles Police Department and the FBI. Despite the large amount of attention and numerous leads, the case quickly became cold. Shortly after the murder, the Los Angeles Examiner newspaper received a package containing some of Elizabeth's personal belongings, including photographs, her birth certificate, and an address book. The package had been mailed by someone claiming to be the killer, and the letter included taunts to the police. However, this lead did not bring the case any closer to resolution. Over the years, hundreds of suspects were investigated, but none were ever definitively linked to the murder. One of the most intriguing suspects was Dr. George Hodel, a prominent Los Angeles physician. Decades later, Hodel's own son, Steve Hodel, a former LAPD detective, wrote a book accusing his father of the murder. He claimed that his father had the surgical skills necessary for the mutilation and suggested that his father was involved in other unsolved crimes as well. George Hodel was indeed a suspect at the time, and wiretaps of his home revealed disturbing comments, but no charges were ever brought against him. Other suspects included people like Mark Hansen, a nightclub owner who had known Elizabeth, and Leslie Dillon, a bellhop who was briefly considered due to his suspicious behavior. Theories about Elizabeth's murder ranged from a crime of passion to being the work of a serial killer, or possibly even an act of revenge tied to the Hollywood underworld. Despite various theories and investigations over the decades, the identity of Elizabeth Short's killer remains a mystery. The brutal nature of the crime and the public's fascination with her life and death have kept the case alive in popular culture. The murder of the Black Dahlia is still one of Los Angeles' most notorious unsolved cases, sparking countless books, films, and conspiracy theories, but leaving behind no definitive answers.